Difficult day of trade in today's session, given that while we looked like we're going to have a very quiet session, quiet it was, but only to start off trade. And then mid-session you had the Dow Futures fall quite hard, and that sort of rubbed off on the rest of the global markets as well. Europe, while we were trading, was seeing cracks of about almost 2% coming in across the board. It was a very sharp, vicious 3% fall coming in for the Hong Kong index as well. And you had Japan and China as well close in the week for themselves. Having said that, we were still relatively a lot better than our global peers. We managed a loss of only 1%. But given how the yields have been performing of late, there are a lot of question marks on whether the US economic growth is sustainable or not. So far, the indicators seem to be indicating otherwise. Looking at the recent most data point, that's the jobs data for the previous month, it seems like things are pretty much on track and in for a steady recovery when it comes to the US economy, but the US yield seems to be stating otherwise. Today on closing bell, we managed to defend the 15,700 mark. 15,731 is where we shut shop. The breadth, of course, was in the negative, closed in well in favor of the declines, 127 stocks standing to the red. And sectorally as well, largely all the high beta names which have been seeing traction of late, they were the ones which fell hard. So namely banks, metals, real estate, which have been good performers of late, they were the ones first to cave in. Talk about the big losers. Tata Motors, no respite in sight. The management seems to be indicating that not just first or the second quarter, but they see only a nimble recovery coming in their revenues in the third quarter as well. Another 4% slide is what you saw on Tata Motors. The JSW Steel, Hindalco, Tata Steel, ONGC, SBI, Kotak Bank, Cipla, ICICI Bank, these were some of the large underperformers today. On the flip side, just a handful of movers really. Let me first actually talk about the broader market losers. It was HPCL, it was SAIL, it was Jindal Steel and RBL Bank which fell hard. So globally linked sectors like metals as well, they came off today. To the gainers then today, while some of the IT names held out, the trend was not across the sector. TCS, for instance, which is due to report its numbers post-market hours later today in the evening, that was actually an underperformer and closed in marginally soft, down by about 0.3%. But there was a big move on a TechM which held out by 1.25%, and Coforge which saw a big breakout, about a 4.5% uptick coming in there. LTTS was the other winner today. Aside of that, there was Indus Tower, Trend and IGL which also held out. Amongst the large caps, Ayesha, SBI Life, Bajaj Auto were a lot more resilient to the market fall today. But yes, come tomorrow, we're going to be officially kickstarting the earnings season with Bellwether TCS slated to come out with its numbers. And that is something that the market is going to first react to tomorrow morning.